Hi, it's day 6 of the 7-day sampler Afghan crochet along. Okay, so in reviewing of day 6, I'm kind of going to go over a little bit of everything that I've done and talked about. So hang on a second. Turn down my light just a little bit more. Okay, so we have our day 1 with lots of popcorns. Then we have day 2 with, it looks kind of like a wagon wheel in the center. We have day 3, which is kind of a medallion, because it gives us a little bit of texture and filigree kind of look. We have day 4, which is all about the picots and a framing ridge here. We have day 5, which was popcorns, and he added double trebles in the center, and we had that new stitch here on the flag stitch. So here we are with day 6, and all I can say is wow. Day 6 has a ton of texture. You've got your crisscross stitches here. This is really cool because you're doing a lot of, let me put that up there where you can see it, and you can see it really stands out and pops up. It has, you're doing chain loops in the front loops of your crochet. So in the previous row, you have front and back loops, and you're doing chain stitches in the front loops to give this little lift, and then you're doing double crochets in the back loops to give your support system. So here's your frilly, and then you do the same thing in the third round, and I think it really pops. Now, if you don't want to do that, you know, you have that option. I kind of wanted to go the extra step. So, and then of course you have these double trebles back here, which give you almost like they're mini popcorns. The double trebles give you a little lift. I really like this one. The only thing it doesn't have is my favorite picot, but stitches. But these are really nice. Gives you a great look, I think. You could probably do a whole blanket on any of these squares. Sorry about the ring of light in my glasses. I just got new glasses, so they're really reflective, I think. And this one also is very flat along the back. So it's, this one in particular, I think would be a really nice blanket by itself. Maybe doing different colors in the center, and then the framework be the same for everybody. And so for all of the squares that you do, if you wanted to do something crazy like that, and then that would give, this is almost a floral, a rose kind of, or chrysanthemum, or something like that, kind of. So in that way you could make it look a little bit more floral. I'm liking the crisscross stitch, the amount of crisscross stitch, because it really gives some texture, and it's a nice feel in the front and the back. And so pretty much I'm liking this one overall. Now I wanted to go over some of my tips for doing this blanket. For me, I would say first, clean as you go. So that means, for me, that means as I was doing my Kelly green center, and then I did the cream around the framework. And when I finished the cream, I would go back and clean up my ends for my Kelly green, weave in my ends and clip them. And then as I do the mint green, when I finish the mint green, I go back and clean up the cream, and so on. So that's for me. And it keeps it from getting too tight as you're working it. It makes it easier to go back into those stitches. Secondly, I have my jar for my clippings, and nice wide top makes it easy. And especially if you don't want to keep your clippings, but you don't want to throw away the jar, then you can always, dump it out and save it for your next project. My third tip is to work in the assembly line, like Mikey suggests. Working in an assembly line, you're not changing colors as much. You work up your blocks a color, so you would do all the same color at the same time, so you're not switching back and forth, and it does save time. And you don't have to go back and think about what the stitches were. So you're doing the same ones over and over again, and it clicks, it goes faster. My tip number 4 is to make sure that you have the written instructions pulled up, either on your computer, or if you can't, on your phone, if you don't have your computer available, or print them out if you can. When I get someplace, right now we're in temporary housing, so when I get someplace, I want to be able to print them out and put them in sleeves, plastic sleeves, and keep them in a ring binder so I can go back and refer to them whenever I want. My last one, and Mikey suggested on this next one, before we start weaving in together tomorrow, that means I have a lot to do, we need to block. So, if you can. So, I don't have a lot of those kind of things. You can steam block, or you can damp block. You can get them, spray them, and dampen them. I have a kit that's called Knit IQ, right here. Let me turn it this way. That my mother-in-law was kind enough to get for me for, I think it was for my birthday this past year. So, I love it, and you just dampen your square. If you can use a spray bottle, that's even better. And if you can't, you steam it, get it slightly damp, and then stretch it out. And I like these because they have they're pre-marked for 1-inch blocks. So I know when this dries, it's going to be a 10-inch block. It makes it easier. And if you're doing bigger things, you can put them together, and they fit together like puzzle pieces. So, and these have really nice, large T square pins, and I will show you up here. So it has a really good T square pins, and I got a lot of them. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, finishing up some ends and blocking and trying to get that done so I'm ready to weave them in together. Now, again, for me, I'm doubling the adult-sized Afghan to make it a blanket for our bed here. So that's going to make it, I'm not going to be able to finish it tomorrow and weave in all my ends, but I am going to show you some of the blocking, some of the putting it together, and talk about what I'm going to do with my edging. I don't know what kind of options they're going to give us. I'm excited to learn. And I've learned some new stitches with this, or at least what they're called. I never called it a double triple. I wasn't sure what to call it. So I've learned some new terms. I have learned the new stitch from yesterday's square. And it's been an overall very nice experience overall. I like the tutorials that Crochet Crowd puts out because they tend to expand my knowledge, and they challenge me. This was a bit of a challenge. Now, remember, crochet, I learned on YouTube. I didn't learn from anybody else. Well, okay. I learned decades ago when you were in home ec. They would teach you chaining, single crochet, and double crochet. How to make a washcloth. So I was maybe 12 or 13, and as you can tell by my hair, it's been a lot of years. But I have learned to not be intimidated by the stitches. If there's new stitches I don't know, as long as you can tell me how they're linked together. I mean, let's face it, all crochet stitches, like this new one that was yesterday, okay, is just stitches that I know linked together. So this is, the post for it is a double crochet, and then you're doing into that post, so you're making a post stitch, like a front post or a back post. You're going around it, you're doing 2 double crochet together. And so it makes a beautiful stitch. It makes it real fun. I was looking at the back, but it makes a beautiful stitch. And so it makes it simpler if you just break it down and take it a little bit at a time. Don't be intimidated. You can do this. Mikey does a great job in explaining how to do things, how to go in the front loops or the back loops. Take your time and learn it. Don't get frustrated. The best thing about crochet is if it doesn't come out, you can pull it out and reuse the yarn. It's not wasted. So have some confidence. You can do this, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh, sorry. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, share it. It would help me out a lot. I appreciate everybody visiting. I appreciate all of my subscribers. I am so excited to be up and running, and let's have a good time this year. I'm ready for 2021. Be safe, take care, and if you have yarn, be creative.